Namaste, friend. Welcome back to Anya Light Healing. I'm Anya Light. So grateful to be here with you today. Before we get started, I invite us to take 3 deep breaths together, then I'll get into the cards. So deep, slow inhale. Let it out through the mouth, let go of stress. Again, inhale through the nose. Let go of the old energy. Last one, make it the biggest one you've taken all day. Giant inhale. And then let it out. Fabulous. Thank you so much for doing that. So I've got my tarot hat on. I've got my tarot cards. Today I'm going to be working with the Osho Zen deck and the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, as well as the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power deck. And I already started pulling some cards to get a sense of what's happening, what's going on, and I'm going to keep pulling cards. The way that I do these readings is I share a potential intention that you could have, that you could set for yourself for this week, that will set you up for spiritual success, for growth, for evolution, for learning, for healing. And then I talk about some potential challenges and some strengths and blessings that you've got from the universe coming your way right now that will help you overcome any challenges that might happen this week, and then also a potential outcome. So I love how this card kind of matches my shirt. So this oracle is from the Buddha Wisdom Shakti Power deck, and it's the image of Lalita Tripura Sundari. That's a mouthful, huh? She's a Hindu goddess, and she represents many things, but one of the main things she represents is our willingness to tap into joy. So sometimes on the spiritual path, sometimes on the healing path, we might start to get overwhelmed by the number and amount of things that we want to heal in our lives. Lolita's coming forward in the beginning of this reading to gently and playfully remind us that healing can sometimes feel quite joyful. And that was the key word that I'm starting to get revealed to me as I tune into you, beautiful friend, that joy is an important keyword moving into this week. And the message on this card says, life will be an adventure if you let it unfold from within. Life will be an adventure if you let it unfold from within. She's known as the playful red goddess. Red emblemizing joy, love, heart energy. So please keep that in mind as we go towards the rest of the tarot cards. As I shuffle here, I like to invite you to take another breath. How often in our day do we forget to breathe? How often in our day do we forget to take care of ourselves? All right, so an intention that would be very extremely powerful for you to set for yourself this week for healing, growth, learning, evolution is represented by the receptivity card and the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is a master at setting boundaries. So in this world, we have to make decisions sometimes. And we have to say, this is for me, that's not for me. This path is for me, that path is for someone else. And that can be a difficult thing, setting those boundaries. I know I've struggled with that in the past. It's something that I have gotten way better at. It's still a learning process. And the receptivity card reminds us that paradoxically, the way that we can get clear on what boundaries that we would be in our best interest to make for ourselves, ironically, paradoxically, the way that we can get in tune with what that is for us individually, our unique boundaries, is opening ourselves up to receive mystical, spiritual, energetic guidance from the universe. And when we go into those states of meditation, of perhaps even a Reiki self-healing session, or whatever practice that you do, whether it's singing or chanting, any spiritual practice that gets you in tune with the universe, when you allow yourself to surrender into that kind of practice, you open yourself up to having these clear boundaries. And it's pretty incredible. What I see here with the Ten of Swords is that you are coming to the end of a painful cycle and starting to realize how important it is for you, not starting, but you're going deeper into the journey of realizing how important your boundaries are for your well-being. So an intention that you could set this week that I feel would be very helpful to you would be honoring your boundaries, because when we honor our boundaries, it allows us to be more friendly. The friendliness card, isn't that nice? I've always loved this card. It allows us to gain the internal energy that is unique to us. That way, as we gain this energy, gain strength within us, gain momentum, healing, not only emotional, psychological, and spiritual healing, but physical healing as well, as we pull that energy into us from the universe through our receptivity and putting up healthy boundaries, like the Queen of Swords is inviting us to do, putting up those healthy boundaries so that we can get our work done in the world, so we can get our service done in the world. It creates an overall sense of friendliness towards the universe. Sometimes the universe can seem like it's not on our side. Have you ever felt that way? Where you're like, universe, are you just attacking me at this point? Like, am I just like target practice for you right now? We've all felt like that sometimes. Now, that's not the truth, but that's how it feels sometimes. However, cultivating those boundaries, those healthy boundaries of saying, this is for me, that's not for me, or taking a stand on something. Sometimes setting boundaries means speaking our truth and standing up for the things we believe in, and also saying these things that these people are doing or these things that's happening in society, that's not right. It's not right. So maybe calling out things, super important. Again, because it brings that energy, it opens up our channels, my friend, into greater life force energy flowing into us, which gives us a sense of overall friendliness. It builds a sense of friendliness as we walk through our day, right? And so there's not like the jagged swords to come at us as much. So again, an intention that you could set for this week that I feel would be extremely helpful would be honoring your boundaries. Honoring your boundaries. Yeah. So a challenge that you might feel as you go through this week could be, and this relates back to the original card, Lolita, that we're talking about. I have my finger here because I'm trying to be mindful of nudity. YouTube doesn't like nudity right now, so I'm playing the game. But so Lolita reminds us of that importance of joy, cultivating joy in our life. So as we are setting up those boundaries for ourselves this week, speaking our truth, being in our authentic power, and this could be male or female. Just because I'm looking at the Queen of Swords and this goddess doesn't mean that you like this isn't just for female identified goddess people. This could be any gender, any way that you identify. This is not about male or female. This is just energy that I'm talking about. Anyway, side note. But so Four of Pentacles, the way I'm reading this card today is about a challenge that we could have in terms of selling ourselves too short, in terms of the joy that we could potentially feel. Now, this person is clutching, holding on to the possessions that they already have, as represented by these discs, coins, or pentacles. They're kind of like, I've got it. I've got what I've got, and that's all, right? Because their hands, their arms are closed. They're not open to receive more. They're like this, right? So when we're like this, nothing else can get in except for what we've already got. This card is basically saying, okay, what are the levels of joy that you are currently able to experience? And dream higher, my friend. Sometimes we get stuck at certain like levels of frequency, of consciousness, and we think, oh, I can't experience more. I'll tell you a quick story on that now. So this past summer that just went by, I completely changed my diet. My diet was super healthy before, mind you. It was 99% organic, all home-cooked meals. I don't eat out except for like once, twice a year. I am super mindful of what I eat, but I switched into an Ayurvedic diet over the summer. Wow. So the combination of an Ayurvedic diet plus warm, hot weather, which my body loves, hot, warm weather, it's just my constitution. Those two things together created a vibrational frequency that I felt inside of myself that I had never experienced before, other than the times that I have used psychedelics. So, or I should say, and also the times that I've gotten together with other bhaktas, which bhaktas are like a path of yoga where we do like group chanting together, which super high frequency practice. But in terms of just like sitting alone by myself in solitude, I've never experienced those levels of frequencies within myself. Frequencies of joy, bliss, ecstasy. And I was like, oh, this is new, right? But in order to allow myself to feel that, I had to believe that it was possible. So for me, I understand that this raising of consciousness journey never ends, right? It goes beyond this lifetime. It goes into my future lifetimes. And in fact, I believe once we graduate from this universe, we go into another universe to keep experiencing, keep learning, keep raising our vibration. It's a never-ending fun game. It's like a video game that never ends. There's like infinite levels. So when you feel like, and this is mostly like subconscious, we get into our grooves and patterns of like, okay, this is good enough, right? But what if existence was infinite? This is you, my friend, sitting here on this lily pad, gazing out into the universe in awe and completely surrendered to the magic of life. And I want that to be a feeling that you have this week. So what are some strengths, blessings that you have going for you this week? Well, quite simply, because of the new year that is upon us, 2026, the incoming energies. Right now, we are about to enter the year of the horse. Technically, it doesn't start till February 17th, but we can already still feel these new energies coming in. Ace of Swords is telling me that a blessing that you are just naturally being given just is the timing of this reading that you're hearing right now. So setting that intention to honor your personal boundaries, you're simply ready because the energy around you is fresh, it's new, it's ready for newness, it's inviting newness. So sometimes in our spiritual journey, we tend to think of everything as like, me, like what are all the influences inside of me that are creating a situation? But sometimes we forget we're operating, my friend, as a collective. So and Buddhism understands this really well. I love Buddhism for it. For this, Thich Nhat Hanh talks about this, the notion of interbeing, right? So a cloud cannot exist if the grass did not exist, and if I did not wear this hat, and there wasn't a picture of Shiva behind me here. And like the cow couldn't exist if the cat didn't exist. And every single thing that we feel, see, and perceive is interwoven. And the cause and effect is beyond human comprehension. We can't logically like suss it out, make sense of it. But just to say that like there's so many aspects of our personal healing journey that are actually influenced by the energies around us. We could look at astrology, where the planet alignment, what's happening with the planets. We could look at different holidays that society is, experiencing. Like the energies at Christmas, for example, are much more potent for certain kinds of growth than Halloween, for example, right? So like what is happening in the collective around us, that influences us a lot. It really does. And so the Ace of Swords is basically saying to you, as a blessing, the time is right. Like it's just divine timing. It's just time for this mindset shift. So again, this week, surrendering, honoring your boundaries, your truth, the path that you want to walk down, which may differ from everybody else. It may be completely unique to you. Whatever it is, standing firm in that, and you will have energetic help. The Ace of Swords, the Swords cards are all about mindsets, states of mind. So basically, like in the ethers right now, the thought collective, the energy is primed for you to set this intention and for you to have this growth. So yay, that's awesome. So potential outcomes for you of having this intention for this week. Blessed and beautiful. I'm getting another ace card, Ace of Pentacles. This is incredibly fortunate. The Pentacles cards are all about abundance. So material abundance, money, family, foundations, everything that is good and beautiful in the world. That is what these Pentacles cards represents. And it's interesting because the vibe I'm getting from this card is actually about financial abundance. So you're going to notice sometime this week, it's likely that you will notice a moment, just so be aware of this, where you're doing better financially than you were in the past. Maybe like it could be something funny like the universe lowering a bill for you. Like maybe you normally pay a certain amount, but then some kind of like amazing thing happens where you suddenly have to pay less every month. That actually happened to me a couple weeks ago, and that was wonderful. Or maybe you're bringing more income in, or maybe like a certain financial block that you used to have is suddenly gone, right? And it comes in part through this setting of intention of standing firm and tall in your boundaries, in your truth, because when we trust in ourselves, we trust this is for me, that's not for me, and we do it without negativity. Sometimes when we set our boundaries, we can get into judging people, right? We can get into like, blaming other people or being like high and mighty or righteous. One of the cards that came out was the Outsider card, and that speaks to that kind of like when sometimes we're setting boundaries, we have this tendency, it's this outmoded human impulse to like judge people that aren't doing what we're doing as bad, or maybe judging the people that we're setting boundaries against as bad. But we don't have to do that. We can just lovingly send them light, love, pray for them. We can pray for anyone. We can love anyone. But that sort of separation can kind of creep in of like, not only am I setting this boundary, but I'm going to hate you while I'm doing it, right? Have you ever experienced that where it's like, we're, as a collective, we're stepping into the new paradigm of I can set boundaries to protect my well-being so that I can have a general sense of more friendliness, more receptive energy flowing into me. And I can do that without hating anybody. I can do that without criticizing anybody. I can do that without blaming or shaming anyone else. And I can just do it for me because it feels good. Because that's what I need to grow. So does that make sense? Do you see that distinction there? So yeah, beautiful, beautiful week of potential joy, potential financial gain, and just like a fresh moment of the universe is primed for you to shift into this new, maybe not new, but like it could be new, or it could be just you're going deeper into the lesson that you've already started. So some of you are at different places in your spiritual journey. I'm talking to a large collective here, but wherever you are, the universe is primed for this, for you. Yeah, cool. So I'm excited to share with you, to wrap up here, that I have launched something brand new, and it is like very awesome. So if you would like to receive daily tarot readings from me for free, go down to the link below and you will see my blog, and just subscribe to the blog and you will get this kind of energy flowing towards you every single day. And I'm just really excited to share with you these daily tarot readings are guidance from my spirit guides. I do not speak as Anya Light right now. I'm channeling. This is not the person Anya Light talking. This is, my main guru, named Crowley Baba, deceased yogi, different spirit guides, Arcturians, Jesus, Buddha. I've got a team and I'm working with them, and they give me the wisdom to share with you guys. So this is a very exciting offering. So if you haven't already signed up, this started on January 1st, so you're not too late. So go ahead, sign up for that, and I would love to share with you in that way and be a constant companion, source of inspiration and guidance for you on your path. I love you. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week, if not before. Namaste. I love you. Be blessed.